One linter to rule them all, one linter to find them, one linter to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. Hey team, Sid here with DevOps Directive, and my job is to help you level up your DevOps and cloud infrastructure skills. If that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing. It's completely free and is the best way to ensure you don't miss out on future content. In case you couldn't guess from my introduction, this week I'm covering the GitHub Superlinter. For anyone unfamiliar, linting is the process of analyzing your codebase to find potential issues. This includes things like variables that are defined but never used, mismatched styles, or syntax errors. The name is fitting. You can imagine it as a lint roller for your code, removing the ugly bits and leaving you with a nice clean codebase. Linters are great, but sometimes they can be a hassle to set up, and every language has its own tools. This is where the GitHub Superlinter comes in. They've taken the industry-leading linting tools for over 40 languages, including JavaScript, Python, C#, and bundled them into an easy-to-use Docker image. This can then be executed as a container either locally or within a GitHub action. To show how this works, I've created a very simple Python game to use as an example. The specifics of the program are not all that important, but if we look closely at it, we can see that there are some issues. The first thing that jumps out to me is this variable defined on line 9 that isn't used anywhere. Second is that the code is using a mixture of single quotes and double quotes, whereas it would be better if it was double quotes everywhere. Thirdly, the indentation uses 2 spaces when all of my other Python code uses 4. As I mentioned, there's 2 main ways in which we can run the Superlinter, either locally or as a GitHub action. Individual developers would generally want to run it locally before committing code, while a team would set up a GitHub action to lint the code automatically and prevent issues from being merged into the master branch. Also, under the hood, the Superlinter is just calling out to these other linting tools, so you can customize each of them accordingly. For example, if we wanted to specify custom rules for our Python code, we would add a pyproject.toml file containing the desired configuration. Here, we can specify things like a maximum line length or any files we want to exclude. Because the Superlinter is bundled up as a public Docker image, in order to run it locally, you'll need to have Docker installed. Once it is, the command to run it is docker run, passing the run local equals true environment variable, which tells the linter to skip over some GitHub action specific logic. We can then use the -v flag to set up a volume mount with the directory where the code lives, mapping it to the /temp/lint directory within the container, which is the default directory where the container is going to look. Finally, we pass it the public image tag of github/super-linter. When I run it, we see the tool scanning through the different files, and whenever it finds a file extension that matches one of the supported languages, it runs the corresponding linter and outputs the result. Here, we can see that it caught all of those issues I described earlier. Let me just quickly fix those issues. And then rerun the linting command. This time, we see that it makes it all the way through without having any issues and passes. It's important to note that the Superlinter does not automatically fix issues that it finds. There are tools that can help with that, such as auto-formatters, which would fix the stylistic issues, but it requires human intervention to fix certain types of problems. While running the Superlinter locally is useful, the primary use case is actually running it during a continuous integration step within a GitHub action workflow. It's super easy to configure and can be one way to help teams automatically prevent low-quality code from creeping into the codebase. To set it up, we create a YAML file within the .github/workflows directory. I'll create one named linter.yaml. We can then use the example action from the documentation, which has 2 steps. In the first step, it checks out the codebase and sets fetch depth variable equal to 0. This is necessary so that it performs a deep clone and it can tell which files have changed relative to the master branch. Once the workflow has checked out the code, it runs the linter container. If you notice up above, the workflow will be triggered on any push except to the master branch, as well as upon creation of pull requests. This is why we pass the GitHub token in line 25. It enables GitHub to place a status badge within the pull request GUI so that reviewers will know whether or not the code contained within it has passed linting. To make sure things are working properly, I'll commit the poor code from before and push it to GitHub. If I then create a pull request, I can see the results of that action within the pull request itself. This is how the failed result would show up. Let me replace the file with the fixed version and recommit and push. This time, the action passes and we get the green check mark indicating success. As you can see, in just a few minutes, we can set up the GitHub Superlinter to run either locally or within GitHub Actions. It truly is like the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, bringing together the power of all of the industry-leading linting tools, allowing you to use it across just about any project. Hopefully, this video has convinced you that you should be using linters within your projects and potentially using the Superlinter as the best option. Let me know in the comments section what tools you're using for linting and how you have them configured. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you want to continue down the DevOps rabbit hole, feel free to check out one of these other videos from my channel over there. Again, I'm Sid with DevOps Directive, and remember, just keep building.